Final time here tonight, final time in round 7, certainly here in Spa. We've got 4 lights, all 5 lights are lit, and it's pedal to the metal, and it is go, 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 go. Joshua Rogers not wasting any time at all, clears his way to the front end, as now Benito looks to go hunting as well, through La Source they go, nose to tail once again, oh dearie me, Kevin Ellis Jr., he's round, Kevin Ellis Jr. is round now, out of La Source, and now they're going to peel through, Eau Rouge and Rayon next, as they all line up in a string. It's Joshua Rogers leading the way off the race start, got a lovely lead, but now they're going to tie up now through this long straight as they do peel on through. I believe it's Enzo Benito who's now going on full attack as they now make their way up towards Lake Com. Mitchell de Jong as well in third as well, covering off the inside is Rogers, as side by side as well for P4 and 5 as Chin Ching looks to enter the fight. They remain side by side through Malmedy, but enter now Mitchell de Jong. What a send there as they come through Malmedy. Rivage up next, but crucially now a Porsche tucking through the inside, the Tiger line as they tackle Rivage. Rogers in front, and second now Mitchell de Jong, Lewis McGlade.
Yeah, Benito bit off a bit too much compared to what he could chew there going through Lake Com. Really tried to fight going around the outside, left it to the inside for the second part, but was muscled out by Joshua Rogers, who just manages to hang on to that race lead. Now with Mitchell de Jong behind, it's basically about not making mistakes. He'll surely be given the opportunity to clear off. That's if Mitchell de Jong go for the fight, but I know the Porsche Carrera guys quite well. I don't think there'll be too much infighting. They'll be focused on trying to get a 1-2, and hey, maybe even just a 1-2-3, because there is another one in that train as well. Do not count out the charge of Dane Warren.
No, not at all. Dane Warren looking ever so sharp at the moment. I tell you what, Porsche Coanda, they've been waiting for this situation for a long, long time. A talented bunch. They, of course, do a lot together. They, of course, practice together. But you can bet your bottom dollar that Enzo Benito is not going to take that one lying down at all. Mitchell de Jong just very wary, cautiously wary, certainly, of what's going on behind him. Enzo Benito will surely be back. Oh, look at this. Furia as well further back. We just saw Kaiki Oliveira having a nose down the inside. Super move on Luke Bennett as now they wheel out on the exit there of the final corner and a bus stop chicane down through towards turn 1 now. Still, though, with the inside line, Luke Bennett will be able to come back at him here, but Kaiki Oliveira not afraid to certainly make the big moves. He might have to let this one go, though, as Bennett retakes that 6th place.
Yeah, when you got some of the major heavyweights in the championship, those in the higher up positions, Porsche Carrera, Team Redline, R8G, G2, and the likes in this, the fact that Furia have Kaiki Oliveira representing the squad and he's doing an incredible job in doing so, and he's going to try and get past another one of the BMW M4s. It's a bit of infighting between those lot, but let's see if Kaiki Oliveira can get through. He's got to the outside coming up towards Lake Com. They're all single file ahead, a bit of side by side from those behind as Dane Warren's trying to fend off Sebastian Job. At the moment, Bennett's able to fend off Kaiki Oliveira as they wrestle their way over the top. Dane Warren, look at the fight as well. Rietveld, I think, was looking behind and almost made a bit of contact with Job.
Yeah, he certainly did. Job trying to work ever so hard to bring his car further up the field. Dane Warren doing enough, though, to keep him at bay. The gap's still very minimal, though. Thinner than a fly's eyelash throughout this field. The top 12 all in tandem. Kevin Ellis Jr., the only one outside of a second. He's 3.5 back after that incident on the opening lap, heading through La Source at turn 1. As now Kaiki Oliveira dips through now Pouon. Was trying to chase after Luke Bennett, and extraordinary pace from Kaiki Oliveira. He certainly has shown an awful lot of promise. Is of course one of the spearheads of the Furia team, obviously one of their drivers that has performed at the top level and has challenged many of these drivers here in this 12-car contingent as they now make their way through the middle sector. They then have, of course, have Sector 3 coming up very shortly. Benito still tailing that of Mitchell de Jong there in second, with Mikael Gala in behind. Impressive race so far from Mikael Gala after a superb qualifying. He was, yeah, well, that qualifying lap, he was also in that contingent that were within the same 10th of a second of Joshua Rogers. That is immense from a team such as Heroic.
Just remember as well, this is Mikael Gala's first final, right? Just to clarify that, he is one of the drivers on the outside looking in. But the fact that he's showing this impressive form, these are going to be major points for the Heroic driver. There's a bit of contact there. Sebastian Job and Jeffrey Rietveld muscling their way between each other. You've got the other G2 Esports driver on the rear end of that, Yoni Tormer. It's a tasty Team Redline sandwich with some delicious G2 bread back here for 9th, 10th and 11th.
Yeah, absolutely right indeed. They're all fighting over the points. Certainly, obviously, no need to be concerned about the top 6 at this point. They've just got to try and unleash as much venom as they can, try and gain as many places as possible. Obviously, the Teams Championship still very much in the pressure cooker stage now, as is the decision as to which drivers get through to the summit. You need to be in the top 24. Jeffrey Rietveld now under pressure from one Joni Tormala as he now goes defensive to the inside. Tormala now swaps to the outside through towards heading in towards the Lacom section. He will need to be alongside through there, but unable to at least track that of Jeffrey Rietveld, who shut the door, defended expertly heading through that sector, forcing Tormala to take the outside line. He ultimately backed out of it. Very, very shrewd, very, very tactical driving there from Jeffrey Rietveld.
Do you want to know something else? This is actually, it seems like a counterintuitive fact, but Jeffrey Rietveld, I was saying about drivers that are making their debut in a final, obviously in the form of Mikael Gall. Do you know, this is Jeffrey Rietveld's first final?
I had a feeling it was.
Is that?
It's bizarre, really, when you consider how quick he really is, because we've seen him in the past. He's made it to semi-finals, has got so close, and I think we forget how great he is in the quarterfinals, because he has been in the top end of the quarterfinal. It's almost a crime that he hasn't appeared in a final.
Yeah, I think it's 4 semi-finals, 2 quarterfinals, and now obviously making his way through into a final. It is a mega effort from Rietveld to have kind of turned this one around. Yes, I know, running in 10th position, but you've got to remember, like, when you're looking at this race, you almost have to treat it as like, okay, let's say, for example, you're Kevin Ellis Jr. running in 12th, but that's not 12th of 12, that is effectively 12th of 48. That's the way you have to think about it, that you're not in just this race. You've battled your way through to this point. You're still scoring more points than 36 other drivers. That is the important bit here.
Yeah, and it really does stake a claim as to why each place in each of the rounds is so integral, because obviously the points for a win in a final vastly outweigh the points for a win in a quarterfinal. You know, you need to make sure that you're getting, or should we say the points for P7 in the quarterfinal, should we say, anything downwards, because obviously if you're in the top 6, you're going through anyway. But obviously the points do matter, and every point counts. Like a win here could change your whole complexion in a championship. It could be the difference between being outside of the top 24 to being inside the top 24 and securing safety to the Munich summit.
Well, let's talk about very quickly Mikael Gall at the moment, who is in 4th position at the moment. 4th position is 47 points. At the moment, Mikael Gall in this championship, over the 6 rounds previous, has scored 36 points, which means he'll be scoring more points from one race than his entire season so far. That is why getting through to a final is such a big deal if you want to get through to Munich. Even finishing last in this, you're still scoring 20 important points. If you win the race, you're scoring 60, right? It is a very, very big deal indeed to take top honours in a race like this, or at least being inside that top 6. So heavily focused on being up there that even if you make it through to 2, maybe 3 finals in this, you're more or less likely going to Munich. You'll more or less likely have enough points to get that far, and that's what a lot of these drivers are really focused on. Let's take a little look then at the race start.
Yeah, absolutely. Kevin Ellis Jr. He was turned around initially. I think it was oversteer at the very beginning, and then must have got caught out then with someone in behind too. So it was just a case. I mean, hence why I suppose we haven't seen any stewards' decisions here, Lewis, because that to me looks like a racing incident.
Yeah, I would lean that one. Unfortunately for Kevin Ellis Jr., because I know he'll be fuming. I'll lean that one. I think that's one of those turn 1 things. So you've got 2 wide behind. You're kind of chopping into the apex, trying to get an up and under on a couple of cars ahead. That's what happens down at turn 1 very frequently in races like this. It's not fun. It's not easy. It's very frustrating. More so, it's almost more frustrating because there's no one specific to blame. It's just like, yeah, it's one of those deals.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely looked like he suffered a bout of oversteer coming out of turn 1, and it seemed like he made contact with a car alongside. Again, you know, as soon as you get in that situation where you've lost traction, you know, it's very difficult to get it back. And unfortunately for Kevin Ellis Jr., despite his efforts, and certainly he is a talent, not able to correct it, unfortunately, and you know, as a result, he is now cemented to the back. But I guess we can only count ourselves fortunate that it didn't end up with multiple drivers going off at that point. Mikael Gall, though, once again showing a great level of pace, currently sat beside that of Marcel Cinchik and Enzo Benito, currently sandwiched in between the pair as Dane Warren now looks to try and get ahead of Kaiki Oliveira as they go side by side, heading up through Les Combes. Contact as they make their way through. Dane Warren doing well to hold on to the car, but Kaiki Oliveira now up into 7th. And take a look at Sebastian Job now, who might fancy a move heading down in towards Rivage, might choose to pick his spot earlier, and does have a look down the inside of the Porsche, not able to make the move, but a very, very good display of pace here from Kaiki Oliveira to fend off the approach from Dane Warren and also secure that P7.
Yeah, I've got to say, I think Dane Warren went basically straight for the apex there at the first part of Les Combes. Obviously, when he's got a car still slightly long, so that's where he got a lot of the oversteer from. At least that's what it kind of looked like from that angle. Not 100% sure. We can see on board here with Sebastian Job. I've got to put it out on this broadcast. When he goes through the corner, look at his mouth. He always, there you go, he got a little bit there. He does it, it's this technique, it's really, really weird. But like a lot of drivers, they move their mouth a lot when they're going through corners because they're focusing so hard on like getting the right line and stuff. Very, very bizarre. And once I noticed that on one Pest ground one time, could not take my eyes off of it. Very infuriating. So I've ruined that for everyone else. Brilliant. Got to say, by the way, is I'm thinking only here of my own chances when it comes to match the outcome. Hopefully, at some point, if anyone could communicate to Enzo Benito to high-five the webcam, that'd be great. I'd love to see that.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, my level on the match.
Oh, it's not looking good.
Isn't doing that. Well, mine's not looking too great. I mean, I think if anyone's going to succeed here, I think it could be you. But we'll have to wait and see. But Sebastian Job making his way out of the bus stop. He's still chasing Dane Warren, but the pace here on Sebastian Job is looking all the more impressive. The G2 car now getting closer to the back of the Porsche. Dane Warren obviously coming off the back of that entanglement with Kaiki Oliveira. Now we're seeing the cars venture out of turn 1 now, and it's another BMW this time progressively closing on the Porsche of Dane Warren this time as they peel up through Rouge and Raidillon. Job, of course, years of experience as a racer, certainly in the world of sim racing. Not only that, as I've alluded several times already, Red Bull Racing simulator talent, as now we're seeing Job still now transcendingly making his way up through towards the Les Combes section, nursing his car closer and closer. Can he make a move down the inside as he does have a look? No, not quite. Stays behind that of Dane Warren. I get the feeling, though, it's only a matter of time before he unleashes the pace in that Beamer.
Yeah, tiny margin separating all of this lot here without Kaiki Oliveira's been able to clear out. You're absolutely right, Sebastian Job's thinking about an extra few points, which he obviously needs desperately. Being a driver that's only done a couple of rounds, Sebastian Job came into this thinking, hey, maybe I could at least get myself a podium in this race and score some very healthy points for my charge towards Munich. But right now, yes, he's scoring decently. I'll give you the update as to how many points you get for 9th place. It is 29 points for 9th place, which, don't get me wrong, really, really good, really, really helpful, but he needs much more than that. At the moment, he's on 23, so that would put him over 50, but at the moment, he's got to get into the 70s, into the 80s, maybe even by the time we get towards the end of the next round, maybe even into the 90s to get his way through into Munich. So it's still not looking great. Every position's really, really important for Sebastian Job.
It certainly is. We've only got one more round before the Munich Summit, obviously coming up middle of next month. So you've got to be on the board, as we're now seeing Sebastian Job now flickering all over the back. Or certainly Jeffrey Rierveld is this time as the two Beamers come together. Now this is an intriguing prospect as they come wheel to wheel again. Of course, Jeffrey Rierveld, another man who's obviously looking to try and improve his prospects in his very first final as they come wheel to wheel now through the bus stop chicane. Now the two Beamers, the team red line there, Jeffrey Rierveld contact as they head through the final corner. Job having to correct the car as then they make their way down through towards turn 1, but enter Joni Tormela. He's now in the midst of two G2 Esports cars. Rierveld now in trouble, but is he, as he now goes deep into turn 1? Oh, a fantastic move from Rierveld now as the switchback comes in from Sebastian Job. They peel out of the source. They've still got a Rouge and Raidillon left to go as they now head up through towards those very famous bends that of course also include an elevation rise that Job tackles brilliantly as they now make their way along the straight. Tormela receives a forced speed limit. He's got to slow down due to a course collision. Now, is that due to Kevin Ellis Jr.?
I think potentially it'll be something to do with that. Let's see if Sebastian Job can make his way straight back past on Jeffrey Rietveld. There's been a couple of bumps through the final chicane. There's a couple more bumps up here at Lake Com. That was a big chop over from Jeffrey Rietveld, who then gets squeezed off from Sebastian Job. I think they've been watching some British touring cars this weekend at Donington Park with the way they've been racing, bashing into each other constantly. They're almost switching liveries at this point.
Fantastic battle in between two greats in the world of sim racing. Certainly Sebastian Job doing his utmost after that very super move from Jeffrey Rietveld heading through La Source. Very clean and tidy, got it done just right. Of course, we've seen many of those moves fail in the past, but Jeffrey Rietveld priming his braking points to the nines and pulling it off as well. But on the final lap, lap 7 of 7, I tell you what, it's a Porsche tandem. Rogers and Mitchell de Jong, and they look cool as cucumbers right now, Lewis McGlade.
They're insane right now. They've pulled out 1.2 seconds from Enzo Benito. These two have been fantastic. Like you say, it was a prime opportunity for Mitchell de Jong to make his way through in a second. And of course, that's exactly what Rogers wanted. It's not the perfect 1, 2, 3 and not having 4 cars in the final. But hey, Porsche Coanda will absolutely take this round, especially with Josh Rogers at the front looking to try and challenge higher up in the championship.
Yeah, well, this is his, well, you said he's managed to score in 4 finals leading up to this point, of course, taking the victory at Hockenheim Ring, and now he's going to join an exclusive club. He's going to take his 2nd final win. He's going to join Dara McCormack. It's Joshua Rogers. It's Porsche Coanda. He takes the final victory in round 7 here in ESL R1. It's Joshua Rogers dressed in black. The Porsche strikes. They've taken victory here in a very crucial